Hi, everybody. Welcome to the thumb. So it's like July 16th, I think so. Um, yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain. I think we've had like 4 inches of rain this week, and it came in big bunches too. It wasn't just like nice soaking all day rains. So the woods is pretty wet right now, especially where my wood pile is. Where the wood pile is isn't totally underwater, but the trail getting to it in both directions is, I'm sure, underwater. I'm gonna go check it a little while later. I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. But so I decided another job I've been putting off is cleaning out my boiler. Um, so what I do every year is I pull these side panels off, and there's one here, and then there's this front panel. Um, Basically, it's the where the air comes in. Um, I took the bottom piece out already, cleaned the ashes out, but that's about as far as I got. Um, yeah, it's not a job you really look forward to because it's not fun. I think this year it'll be a little better um, than previous years because I don't think it's going to be built up as bad as it was because of a few things I did different. One, I think I showed you in a previous video where, I put the wood in, you know, say parallel to the door instead of parallel to the walls. That way it lets this air circulate a little more and maybe builds a little more heat up there. I mean, obviously it got good and hot because some of these panels are warped. I didn't replace them last year. I might do it this year. But I've replaced them all but one year, I think, which was last year. I didn't replace them last year, but every year before that I did. And maybe I can even scavenge some of the old ones and straighten them out, which is fine. I had luck with that last year. I just kind of took the twists and the bows out of them. But this is another thing that I did that this is a 3-inch square tube. The air actually, there's two fans. There's one that goes into, I don't know what you call it. It's like basically it's the final secondary air is what it is anyway, but it adds oxygen to the smoke going out and it burns the smoke off. But the other, the air chamber that goes into here is directly behind this part. So this tube actually goes in, there's maybe a 1/4 inch from where it enters this chamber, but then this air has to come in here, which in my theory kind of warms it up a little bit, and then it just shoots back in here, and then it goes down all the sides and wherever it has to come out. But my theory is if it warms it up even 10, 15, 20 degrees, maybe it's more than that, maybe it warms it up 100 degrees, I don't know, but that's just that much less that you're shooting into already maybe cold wood or whatever. But anyway, I don't know, it seems like that helped too. That was just a little, I hope if somebody from Central Boiler is seeing this, I hope they don't void my warranty, but nah, I don't think I'll need it anyway. This thing's well built. Just a little suck up there. But anyway, so yeah, so the one thing I don't like about this is this in the summertime with all the humidity, this stuff gets really tacky and it's hard to get off. I'll probably do a quick video. It's going to be a day or two process to get it cleaned out, but I'm not going to make the video real long because it's a tedious job. But what I'm going to do is, I think in the owner's manual, it says, I want to say that it says to keep a 60 watt bulb in here in the summertime. And I think that's mainly just to keep the moisture out. So I'm going to accelerate that a little bit because it's hard to find an incandescent bulb around this place. So I'm just going to put my milk house heater in here. I'm just going to put it on low. I guess it's on low. I guess this is the low part. I guess this is just that. I wish I could make it so the fan would run continuous, but I'm just going to make it so it actually comes on. Okay, I'm going to just pause this. Okay, I can feel the heat. Gotta get it so it's sitting solid or else it'll shut off on me. Maybe it shut off because of the heat. Yep. So this might not work anyway. I might check on it in a couple hours to make sure I'm not burning my cords off or anything. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do there. So obviously I can't close that tight. But I got the power shut right down on it, and I opened up the bypass door, so hopefully any moisture will kind of blow out. But as far as my woodshed filling operation, I'm halfway there. Actually, where that block and tackle is, that's the halfway point. So I'm over halfway full, and I do have that underneath that tarp is there's a month or two of burning there, and I've got at least 2 months of burning of wood from last year, so I'm not real concerned about it. It'll still be good and dry by the time I do get to the stuff I'm cutting this year. But I would rather be done by now, just to mark it off my summer bucket list. So anyway, let's go to the woods and we'll see how bad it is. Well, here's one path going into my towards my log pile. I just walked through that, and I didn't want to walk through it with the phone in my hand. But yeah, it's about a foot deep of water. It's pretty solid underneath. I don't know how long it'll stay that way. Hopefully this will go away in a couple of days. I assume I can go through a little bit of mud, but it's not going to do the trail any good if I start going through it a lot. But anyway, yeah, the woods is pretty wet. Yeah, the upper part of the trail's fine. I mean, I could drive down this all day long, all week long, not hurt it any. But yeah, the rain we got came in pretty big bunches. I'd say 2 times we got like inch of rain in, half hour or less. And then yeah, the last one we got 1.5 inches of rain in about a half hour. So yeah, came pretty hard, pretty fast. The cropland took it pretty good. I mean, the black beans are doing all right, which I was a little concerned because black beans don't like wet feet. Soybeans can handle a little water, but yeah, the black beans, they're not turning yellow yet, so that's good. When they start turning yellow, sometimes they'll bounce back, but if they're in the bottom of a ditch and they turn yellow, it's a pretty safe bet that they're done. So yeah, let's go look at the other path. Well, here's the other end of the trail. Yeah, it's just as bad. Actually, I had to be careful where I stepped when I went through that puddle of water there. It was almost over my boots, which, I don't know, my boots are probably 18 inches tall. So, but yeah, once I got through there, I'd be fine. But I should maybe someday put a culvert in there. And goes a squirrel. Anyway, I guess it's pretty wet here too. Yeah, this is down in a swamp, and when we were dragging logs out last winter, it was in pretty good shape back here. And just to kind of speed up the process, we made our pile of wood down here in the woods. And you know, it's nice to do that in the wintertime, just because you can see the logs better, and there's just no bugs and poison ivy, all that stuff. You know, you pick a nice day, you know, get it in the 30s, but yet not melting off too bad where your gloves stay dry. It's not too bad. I kind of like working in the wintertime, actually. Just gotta dress for it. But yeah, it's pretty wet down here. Ground's pretty solid under the water, but with this muck, that's gonna soak up like a sponge and swell up and be mud. But yeah, here's my pile. Actually, Saturday I was gonna come out and brush hog these trails and brush hog all as much as I could around these, but weeds are pretty tall. But yeah, there's plenty. Got that pile and this pile here. There's plenty here to get me through the winter. I'm thinking, see, this trail is only, I don't know, maybe 50 yards off of the lane that goes along the bean field there. I think worst case scenario, I might just cut a trail through there up to that other trail, and but yeah, I don't know, it'll probably dry out. August is usually pretty dry. That's usually when we're just praying for some rain, because all the beans are filling and everything, but it's usually pretty dry. So I got lots of time yet. Like I said, I'm not too worried about it. If it gets into the fall before I finish up, I guess is what it is. I'd rather not have to do that, but yeah, this trail here, I mean, obviously we cut it through to get to logs and stuff, but yeah, like I said, it's only about 50 yards. It kind of snakes through the woods, so it's between 50 and 100 yards the whole length of that field, that black bean field. My theory on that was, and this is on the east side of the field, so my theory was that big breeder bucks would be just traveling back and forth on this trail, letting that wind blow the scent from the does into the field or into the woods here, and they could kind of patrol for opportunity without having to get out in the open. So yeah, so there's some strategic blinds and stuff along this trail, and yeah, it's kind of a nice little trail. You know, it's funny when you look at it, this was just, I mean, there's some ash trees still falling, but it was, this was just 5 years ago. You couldn't even walk through here. It was just piled up with logs everywhere. And so I've been cleaning it up slowly, but yeah, so I'm gonna, I don't know, I might take the trail that way just to see how wet it is. It's probably pretty wet over there. So yeah, I kind of started to drive through the woods down a different trail, and it was pretty wet. So I came back to pack up my wood processor, and I'm gonna just take it up, put it in the barn for a couple weeks. I'm sure I'm shut down for at least a week or two. I mean, it's saturated. You can really see it here. This is that food plot I did a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if this corn doesn't drown out. This might soak away in a couple of days and the corn might be okay. There is some soybeans growing, but I don't know. I'm not too hopeful on the soybeans, but if the corn grows, that'd be great. Even if it's not real thick, as long as they leave it alone and it makes an ear, well, then that ear will be there for fall and hunting season, so that'd be good. I'll probably, about a month or so, I'll come out and just kind of broadcast some radishes or turnips or something into this, or maybe both. That towards the woods there, way in the back there, that's going to all be food plot too, so there'll be something here for them to eat during deer season. So I don't know, I probably got 2 or 3 does out of here last year, and I think altogether out of that blind I probably shot 6 does, I think. Didn't shoot any bucks. Saw a lot of decent bucks, but nothing. I've always, every year I try to do, or every buck I try to make it bigger than the previous buck. So there's so many does, I don't really care if I shoot a buck. You know, I'd like to have a nice big wall hanger, but I probably wouldn't spend the money to hang it on the wall anyway. So, but I do like venison, and does taste just as good, if not a little better than bucks. So anyway, so I'm gonna go put this little guy in the barn, and yeah, like I said, I think I'm done for the couple weeks cutting wood. So yeah, I guess if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and do all that other good stuff. And I guess just take her easy. Thanks for watching.